Hey guys, I wanted to take a second to talk to you about Jesus Christ. I know I don't look like much, and that's because I ain't much, but it's time for some of us who've been through the very fires of hell to start speaking up, because if we don't, our world is on the way to a place that we won't be able to recover from. My name is Michael, and I'd like you to know a little bit about me. I'm a wolf in Christ. The reason that I say I'm a wolf, as you can see, I'm not raised in a normal family. I'm not following a normal lifestyle. I have been in prison more than I have been out of prison. I am guilty of every sin, be it prostitution, pornography, violence, theft, drugs, you name it, I'm guilty. But I'm here to tell you that the Lord saved me. And while that seems impossible, think about the fact that we killed Jesus Christ and he forgave us all. As we move forward in this, I don't want there to be any smoke screens or something that you think that I haven't already told you. I've spent so many years in the penitentiary that I can't tell the real world from the locked up world. But I can tell you this: Christ has a plan for every one of us. And while we do have free will, he still has that plan. He will take every bad thing you've ever done and turn it into a testimony for him if you'll simply take a second and allow it. Now, when you look at me, you don't see someone in a suit and tie. And it's time for us that aren't in a suit and tie to speak up, to let the world know there is no sin too big. There is nothing you've done wrong that Christ cannot forgive. He sits at the right hand of God interceding for us. People don't realize how powerful that is. But with his last dying breath, he said, "Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do." If that doesn't speak volumes, in pain and agony, he still loved us so much that his last words were to save us from the pits of hell. There is nothing that you can say or do that he can't forgive. Look at me as you sit here going, how can this man speak about God? I'll tell you how I speak about God. As he moves in my life, as he takes over my decisions, as I make all of the wrong decisions, and he simply allows me to be in his presence. I ask him to forgive me. I still stumble. Guys, there's nothing. Look at me. If I'm standing there in the light of God, all you have to do is hit a knee and say a prayer, and he's ready for you. When we struggle with our faith, that's nothing new. Everyone struggled with faith. As you struggle with faith, you learn to have hope. Hope is not temporary, and hope is not something that you think might be. Hope for God is knowing that all of the promises that he's put in his book are for you. They're for me. Look at me. I thought there's no way he can forgive me. So I just kept down the path. And the further I got down the path, the more I knew there's no way. He can't forgive me. One day he tapped me on the shoulder and he said, "Michael, I'm going to take everything you did wrong and turn it into a testimony. And then I'm going to help you to lead people like you to me." I said, "Yeah, right. I'm not worth it. I make too many mistakes. How can you use me?" He said, "Hang on a minute. Watch this. For man, many things are impossible. With God, all things are possible." As you sit here and you look at me and you see these prison tattoos, you see all this ink, I see a broken man that the Lord picked up, stood back on his feet, and said, "Michael, I love you." I felt alone, beaten, abused, broken, lied to. I've been hurt by the people that I kept the closest and hurt the people that I kept the closest more. All in the name of I cannot be forgiven. But when I got all done, when I decided, hey, maybe there's a better way. Maybe he can do something for me. I hit my knees in tears and I said, Lord, I'm done with what I'm doing. I appreciate free will, but you can have it back. Every time I make a decision, I do the same thing. So your will, not mine. I told him in my prayers with tears rolling down my face, make me what you want me to be, or bring me home to the kingdom. And I meant every word of it. I don't want to be here if I'm going to continue to be something that I know I'm not. Now, when I took the devil's hand, he was happy to see me. I'm a natural leader. People follow me just to hang out with me because I look like the guys off TV, because I did things that the guys off TV still haven't thought of. But you know what I found out? None of that matters. The only thing that matters is that Christ died for my sins just like he did yours, and that God is waiting for us. Now you say, how can that be possible? How is it possible that God is waiting for us? Look at the world, look at everything he's allowed, but he didn't allow it, we did. And as he sits there, waiting for us to come to him, being the perfect Abba. See, guys, first of all, you have to understand, Eli means God in Hebrew. Ha'av means father. All of the placement in the Bible where it says father, it was Abba. He did not wish to be our father. He wished to be our dad. He looks at us in a loving way, and he wants us worse than anything in the world. The reason that he gave us free will is so that we would love him because we loved him and not because we had to. But he loves us just the same. While we do wrong, when I did wrong, he looked over there. He said, Michael, do not go over there. I said, I don't got to listen to you. I'm going to go over there. You know what? I didn't have to listen, and I did go over there. But you know what he said? He said, Michael, when you get back from over there, I want to talk to you. I said, I don't care what you want. I'm going to do what I want. And I did. Over and over and over again. I did what I wanted and not what he wanted. With him continually, with tears in his eyes, saying, Michael, hear me. Now, I don't mean some crazy stuff about he talks to me like I can hear his voice. But he says, I will remove your heart of stone and replace it with a heart of flesh, and on it will be carved my word. When you ask him a question, all you have to do is read the flesh that he's given you inside. Read that and understand that he loves you, not because he has to, not because we deserve it, but because he just loves us. We were his creation. We were what he wanted. It says in many ways that he couldn't understand why we did what we did. But he is the perfect creator and knows the beginning and end. He just couldn't figure out why we wouldn't make the right decisions. I can't figure out why I make the wrong decisions either. That's why I give my decisions to him. Because me, I'm lost. But him, he's perfect. Now, as I realized more and more what these words meant, and my life moved forward, he pulled me out of the fires of hell and stood me up next to him where I did not belong. It says that justice is receiving exactly what you deserve. Mercy is God forgoing that justice, giving you his punishment rather than what the world sees you to receive. And grace is Lord giving us stuff we don't deserve. Why does he love us? Because by the grace of God, he is love. Man has 8 definitions for love and 1,000 different ways to say it. But God is love. And because of that, he has no imperfection in him. He has no hatred. He has no hurt. He does punish us. That is right. And as I received that punishment, I thought he was both unfair and not there. But you know what I realized? As he pushed down on me in his perfect plan, as the rulers that were over me pushed down on me in his perfect plan, I screamed out to him, God, why? Save me. And he said, all you had to do was ask. I've been here the whole time, son. I don't deserve to be talking to you right now, but I did want to introduce myself to you. I have many sermons to come, and it's time that those of us who he's pulled out of the fire speak up. Now, when you look at me, you can tell I have no right to be talking to you about him, but he told me to speak. I've never cared for people. I've never cared for speaking, but his will be done, not mine. I love all of you, and I wish to tell you that he loves you too. If you want him, just ask. That's what I did. I can't give you any other reason for the change in my life, for the feeling of no longer being alone. In a lifetime of being all alone, I'm never alone now. I hope to see you again, and I hope that we're able to share his word. But I'm Michael, and I'm glad to talk about him. God bless.